So I went down to the waterfront, had my tin cup in my hand. Said, Mr. Full Moon, save me if you can. When I done drank that cool bay water, and I heard an owl cry. Oh man, now you done something. Oh, I know you gon' surely die. Well, now I done told that bird, you listen, and I tell you the reason why. You see, when I drink this here water, ain't no bad stuff that live inside. It's voodoo, voodoo, voodoo. Ain't no telling if there's a wrong or right. Big blue got a hold on me. People, I just got to give it a try. Oh, voodoo, voodoo, it's
Good morning, everyone. You're listening to Trace Elements Radio, live today on Freedom's Lips, from Freedom's Lips to mine and yours. And we are, of course, on Trace Elements Radio. We are joined here today with Chief Charles Twodog, OCO, my brother.
OCO, Sigoli's gonna go. Tracey, how you doing?
Sego, I'm good. I'm so good, and I wanted to bring us in with some of the most powerful male energy I know, other than yourself, who I also brought in here. My dad.
But number one, he's my main man.
He loves you too.
Mr. Kennedy's concerned.
We are going to talk about... Go on.
If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be writing and singing right now. So, yeah, he's my main man. I love his music.
He'd love to hear that. You know, everyone, we are going to be talking about space news, Earth news, and the moon. Last night, Chief Charles Twodog did a moon ritual. Would you like to describe that to people for us, please?
Well, number one, it goes to the moon that come out last night. It was very powerful, by the way. But it's a connection. It's a connection to everything, which we do in a sacred way of all four directions up. Well, six if you count the Creator and the Earth itself. Is just a renewal of the inside. Of everything around you. And if you're starting to see more and more white animals roaming around,
yes,
I do want to say that is a what I consider, which white animals to us are sacred.
Yes,
and I consider that they're telling you something. The spirits are here to tell you something.
Chief Charles Twodog and I were talking before the show about something I saw, and before I go into it, which I wasn't going to, but I am going to now, I want to thank you because you said the 6 energies. So, red, white, yellow, black, brown, and the up and the down. We need these things. This is our planet. And this moon, which we will go into depth, was powerful. And I told you guys for last year that even the Julian, the Gregorian, the combo calendar that we go to has lined up officially. And this goes back to the time when they weren't counting up, they were counting down to a specific event. This event has just happened. I have to tell you about the cosmic news first, because we just got a space tsunami, unprecedented, that I was telling you was on its way. It has arrived. So it was so powerful that it gave us a third Van Allen belt. It shook the moon 3 nights ago. So some of you are going to feel this as incredible power and strength. Some of you will feel it as pain. Neither of these things are bad. It's just how we relate to living. It hit the earth, and today there are some very powerful movements on this planet. The powerful movements on the planet are the powerful movements in your body. This is our car, the archons, I guess. It's still an ark. This is all the beings that were placed on the ship. That's our body, people. So,
yes.
I know Twodog and I had talked about this before, but for the show, Twodog called it, and there's some things I will only listen to certain men about, because this is a very powerful time where Mars is closer to the Earth. They're saying 30 years. My dad actually said, no, Trace, it's 5,000 years. And I'm like, whatever. And then I looked it up. Yeah, 5,000 years. The moon and Mars were closer to us. This is powerful now. And we've seen this in signs and wonders that have happened in the last couple of days. Not only the incredible violence, but a gorilla with a boy. You said you saw one too, Twodog. Was it a cougar?
Well, what they're doing right now, you had the gorilla with a young baby boy.
Yep.
And then they come out with an alligator.
The alligator. Now, we're going to some very old signs right now.
Now, let's go a little bit further with the last one. The last one was cougar, mountain lion.
A mountain lion and a child. These are some powerful, powerful signs we are being shown. I wanted to read you guys a little something before I go on. And it's something that didn't shock me, but I'm realizing it shocked a lot of people because they haven't seen the divine male. I know that I have. I know that I'm with one. I know that I only allow these around me. And it is a being that we would look at as almost combination. My dad actually said, before I went on the show, I was talking to Dad too, that he said that me and my two sisters, there's three of us, all have a very powerful male energy too. I like to build stuff. I like to take things apart, put them back together. What we look at as male, but I am very combined and very good about my femininity, obviously. But when we look at the Bayaka people, the ones that they called the pygmies, who have the oldest upright mammal DNA in them on this planet, their men still lactate. They still mostly take care of the young kids. Now, I do have the article on the page, but I want to bring this up for Father's Day, because even Father's Day aligning with this is showing what they're going to do, and we can get into that too. What they're doing, what this energy means, where we are right now, the return. It's powerful because these men who are living in the old way of our peoples, and I don't care what little shade of skin you have.
Right.
These are fathers who spend more time with their children than most parents are allowed, especially in our industrialized societies.
Right.
These people who are even being killed by African brothers and sisters right now, trying to take their land, and they certainly do not want them to be who they are. Hold their children. It's weird because they've quantified it. They're saying for 20% of the day, where our males are not allowed to hold our children. They have to work. They're told that feeling is wrong somehow. So, with all the things we're going to tell you today, know that I saw men like this who were big and strong and tough, and if I got a boo-boo, the world ended. It stopped right there, which I obviously love. And they took care of that and held me and picked me up, made, cuckoo noises, and are you okay? And how you doing, baby? And all these things. This is the men I know. Yes, damaged in a lot of ways, because men of such ilk are not worshipped anymore. And they should be.
Right.
They should be. Men like you should be worshipped. These are our partners. These are the ones standing by our side. This is the love that we can have for each other. And I'm not talking about sex here. I'm talking about how we work together. We are a set. It doesn't matter who you prefer to be in bed with. That is not our business. But being a family is important, yeah?
Yes, exactly. Matter of fact, Tracey, to be honest with you, I did the same thing that you just spoke about, in my family also. Very big, strong men, but hey, nobody needs a boo-boo now. We can fix that. But to be honest with you, I was, in my family, I'm the one that raised my child. I was there. I was the one from the time she was born till now. I'm the one that always, hugs my child and says, everything's going to be okay. I was always there for anything that ever happened. So I raised this child, yeah. Totally.
Yes, soldier. That's your soul. That's what it should be.
Yes.
So we are experiencing the two elements, the two opposite poles of a side right now, because I think we all can admit men are in control. A couple of men, not our men, obviously, but a couple of guys. So when Twodog was talking about the white animal sightings, and I would like, if you don't mind, to talk about that again, but I saw this thing, guys, and I think when I told Twodog this, and this was in a private conversation, that he actually saw what I saw, and what I saw now that I'm thinking about our conversation was a shape-shifting thing. Because the first thing I saw, it was the same thing, but it looked different over the course of, 10 seconds. That looked like a reptile. It was close to the ground, but also looked like a crow. And also looked like some sort of mammal, except low to the ground, but it had the face of a fox. The weirdest thing is, I've been telling everyone that I've been, starting to walk again, which is awesome, and I'm grateful. Actually, the only reason I can still walk is our listeners, because they're supporting me right now financially, and I'm buying stuff that's helping, so thank you. Anyway, this thing...
You're awesome, Trace.
Well, our listeners are freaking awesome.
Yes, they are.
They are, and supportive. And, the first thing I think of when someone says, you're not getting up from this, because I've heard that several times this week, was like, don't tell me what to do. And then there's bad words.
You're like me, Tracy. If somebody tells me you can't, I'm going to show you, I can.
I can't? How dare you? Do you understand who you're talking to? So, I saw this thing, and for a moment, when I saw it with fur, and this is broad daylight out in front of other people, where other people turned their head, but they just kept walking, which I thought was weird. Now I'm really looking at it as weird now. I saw it with fur and thought, I didn't see the face, right? It was just moving past. So I didn't see that. So I was like, kitty, 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 kitty. Touch my thigh, come on over. It turned its head. And it had like a thin, long fox face jaw thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But his eyes were red. They were red.
Yeah, I told you. Remember me telling you?
You said, were they red? And I'm like, ah!
Mm-hmm.
And they looked like more of a reptile's eyes inside. Hard to explain. It was like there was a black slit in the middle of it.
Right.
And I'm like, I felt at that moment, if I did that again, called it over, it would come. But this animal was white. Even in its transformation, it was completely white. And that head, those eyes that turned and looked at me, didn't just look at me. They were looking on me. This was an intelligent being. I was frightened, Twodog.
Well, let's look at. I've got something in my head
Please.
right now that I can relay with you. See what you think of this.
Okay.
I'm just going to see what you think of this. Of course, the spirit helpers are always here to help us, to guide us do things. And if you think about it, as far as a white animal is always sacred, and it's always there to guide or help also, and especially with what we're doing. And if you talk about, okay, you got the four-legged, and you got something that looks kind of like the winged, and then you got something that looks like the alligator type thing, or the
reptile,
the lizard type thing.
Yep.
So you're getting all of nature in the world in one little animal. If
Outside in the broad daylight. Yeah.
Yes.
People
So
walking by,
that's
not looking at it. Actually, they did. They turned their heads and they kept going.
The way I look at it, maybe they didn't see it and you did, because they're not opened enough to see the thing there.
Or they at least felt it and said, no, I'm not.
No, I'm not going to touch it.
No, I did not just see that thing, being, entity, spirit helper. And this is why we had to pull the show over for a freaking vision, because two of the men that I most respect on this planet said, you just had a vision. Dad said it too.
There you go. I trust anything that Mr. Kennedy says about it.
And my dad is different. I realize now. This is a man who's in his 70s. And you can't guess his age. You know how people usually say you can't guess that person's age? No, you really can't guess my dad's age.
But let me say, I looked at one of the concerts that he actually did. I watched it. He's up in his 70s, and I swear, when he was singing that one song that he was singing, he looked younger than me. So you can't, he looked like maybe 40-something.
Yeah, maybe 40. Sometimes he looks 30.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
Sometimes he does.
And he is having like some physical freaking difficulties that a lot of us who are sensitive are having right now. I mean, it's hard to walk. You're probably getting skin eruptions. If you have neuropathy, you have just gone through 48 hours of hell.
Well, I got severe neuropathy, so yes, I did.
Did you?
So I felt it. Oh, yes.
See?
I have that.
That's what I'm talking about. And they a little bit loved it. We know that we have a tendency to, when we feel pain, look at that more as you feel alive now.
Yes.
You have proof of life. So that's why I say, if you're dealing with this energy as feeling powerful or feeling pain, it's kind of the same thing. It's our heads that make that different. When you feel pain, you're sure of something. We've talked about a bunch of things. When people feel numb after they've been tortured for a long time or hurt for a long time, physically, mentally, emotionally, they have no proof of life, really. we have put a trigger in our heads, a lot of us, to give us proof of life. That's pain. And we have seen some devastating events all around us. You know, the shooting that they want to say was one guy.
Yeah.
In a gay bar, when they had a transgendered person headlining, when it was Latino night, it was salsa night, basically. So it was full of brown-skinned people dancing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You know, one of our listeners, everybody, Pat from Revolution Radio, one of the great hosts and great producers on there, said he too has bad neuropathy. Hurts to walk. You didn't mention, though, if it got really, really bad in the last couple days. Because I mean bad in a way like my nose should have been gushing blood. Bad. Blood should have been coming out of my pores. Bad.
Right.
I don't show signs, but I mean, it should have been like a friggin' geyser of apocalyptic friggin' proportions. Bad. I'm better today. But I too did a moon ritual and slept in the shadow of the moon and Mars all night long. And was caressed by this powerful male energy. In a big, big way. This is the energy of Daddy. And with Father's Day and a full moon and the transition into summer, this is huge, Twodog, don't you think?
Well, number one, it is huge. It's incredible, because the thing about it is with the male and the female together, that's the point. Male and female, the sacred sentiment in the male should never fight amongst themselves. They should work for the benefit of the whole.
We are
like a mother father.
Yes, divided as we are physically.
Yes.
We have to work together.
I have to add this.
Please.
I have to add this, Tracey.
Please.
If you look at the, let's go with Canada, America way right now. It's always male-dominated, number one. And women do not have a whole lot of power. Let your women be silent in church and all this.
True.
When in actuality, with our people, I may be a chief, but I'm just a spokesman. The women run the tribe.
You were elected in the old way. This is the old way of our people, all around this planet, where an elder basically handed you the scepter.
Yes.
That is the ancient divine right of kings. They handed you the crown. This is not a physical object. It's something different. We are combining heads. I'm passing my knowledge to you to accept.
Right.
And I know we haven't talked about this live on air, but was that not kind of what she said?
Yes. To be honest with you, I didn't run for any election. There was no such, thing in my mind.
Okay, I'm going to say as a side note, if he ran, it was to get away from that shit. Please continue.
Yeah. Now, as far as all the clans that we have, it was a unanimous vote that I take this and lead this nation. So, when I got the phone call, only thing the old chief said was, "Are you shutting down?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she says, "Well, you have the position now." And I've been doing that for over a year now. I've been the principal chief of the nation since about 2 Februarys ago. So it's a job. It's a job to do.
It's a hard job. And remind them again about the flags, because I want to tell them what happened here in Canada.
Well, right now, without, I have not been asking, which I'm going to, why not? I might just say, hey, I might just do it anyway, sorry. But I haven't been asking, and right now we hold 22 flags, counting our nation as 22 flags. The last one that came in was the LGBT Rainbow Peace flag that just came in yesterday. So whatever the people around the world is saying, I'm receiving flags from, I received 4 in one day from Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Cuba, and Jamaica, and there are more coming. So, it's kind of like, of course, when two nations meet, it's good to have each nation's flag side by side. I get that.
This is ancient.
But some people are saying this is a peace movement around the world that I'm actually doing. And if you could get this circle with all these flags,
I am one of some people.
Is to show that we respect all people, because we are all related, black, white, yellow, red, it don't matter. We're all the human being here. But they seem to think that what I've got going on is some kind of peace movement.
I'm actually part of the they, so please go on.
Well, yes. Let me explain, ladies and gentlemen, that Miss Tracey Kennedy here, my lovely host here on this show, she is a part of that, because I did receive the Iroquois Confederacy flag and the Mohawk Nation flag from you, and it is honored. Matter of fact, it's flying. The Iroquois Confederacy is.
Do you have the
right
Haitian
my nation
flag?
The what?
The Haitian flag I sent you.
The Haitian flag is not here yet.
Okay.
But I expect one, to be honest, because like I said, have to, the 4 from the Caribbean that I got. I don't know who sent what. There's no, no nothing. I just opened the mailbox and these flags are in it.
It's funny. I've got an image now. I haven't posted it, of the Haitian flag. This isn't the Haitian flag they fly. They're supposed to be of the peoples. Now, of the peoples, it's surprising, because you look at it and it's from one part of Africa and one part of Ireland, believe it or not. That talk about their connection to the waters, the ancients of the waters.
Yeah.
And
now, let me
please
go a little further. Let me go just a little bit further, Trace, before you go ahead with this. But I do want to thank one of the best dignitaries that I've ever sat with from the Maori, also, as far as Doreen Bennett. She actually, the Maori Nation, that Maori flag was what got this evidently started, because that was the very first flag that was gifted. So, Trace, go ahead, please.
Sorry, guys, took me a minute. Doreen, our darling, Doreen and Matthew are pretty much our kids. And they've traveled all over the world spreading the news. I can't say it in any other way, of the tribal peoples everywhere. Big, strong supporter, big fan, great big fan of theirs. And they've done so very well.
Big ups to both of them.
So today, and you think no one notices all the galactic freaking alignments and the three kings joining us. Those are actually 3 planets, and they did to watch this event. Trudeau marks, and probably most people haven't heard of this, National Aboriginal Day, with a sunrise ritual and a ride on the canoe. He put on his father's buckskin jacket. This is the story. I'm going to tell you the truth behind that jacket. That you can look up and find out. Oh my God, Tracey read some stuff. Yes, she did. Damn it. So, this jacket was blessed by one of the last Métis chiefs, because we weren't allowed to have them until, I think, what just happened this morning. I can't say it 100%, but I'm thinking, yeah, that just freaking happened. And what I told Twodog and Tony, but what I think was going to happen, and you guys. Anyways, the jacket was blessed by an elder who, yes, has European roots and Algonquin. Now, when we talk about Algonquins, and don't be mad at me, because I know they're listening right now and told me not to say this, but I'm friggin' saying it, it's too late. Algonquins are a mixed clan. Very mixed. I mean mixed from the peoples of the earth. And please challenge me on that and I'll friggin' prove it to you. Whatever. They even have a flag that is mixed. And I have to say, in the shame from my people, the Mohawk tried to kill them. Tried to wipe them out on this continent. Way before we can blame the white people did it. No. No one did this. Now we even called them a name that is so close to Tiamat's monsters that it's the same story I told you guys. Because they're very mixed. Black, white, red, yellow, up, down. They're mixed with all the people. Anyway, Ottawa, Algonquin land, Métis, mixed with them. One of the last, one of the only, a woman, saged him during this ceremony. Saged him. And in the thing you won't see in the images that I put on the page, cut him with obsidian, the black, like flint, stone. Our people, the Mohawk, are actually called people of the flint. Their name for themselves is that. Cut him with Mohawk stone, and I mean expertly flinted stone. This, you can't just chip away at this and it not look done by computer. This thing was real. It almost shapeshifts in front of your eyes. It's weird. So, this ritual in the morning, as the moon went dim, as the sun rose, is still this energy that Twodog and I were talking about. The Prime Minister didn't just attend this sunrise ritual. He was a participant. He paddled in a cargo canoe, an ancient canoe, handmade by, I don't know the elder. I've got nothing in my searches yet. But only elders. There are very few people who can take these things and still work them in the ancient magic.
Right.
What I warned and talked to Twodog about was this Prime Minister, will not only take Canada, will take Turtle Island. And that ritual was just presented that he is our chief. He did not wear a headdress because headdresses are new. Although men used to just dress up more. A headdress as a chief in the way we see them, and actually it could have been even deeper and I missed it because he didn't, was that someone was training him, his mother, from his birth for this moment. This year, and when my son turns 25 on the 25th, this year, where every single day in June is showing us something, this year that there's a 33-day long Ramadan, the fasting. The male energy, you have to admit, it's very powerful and very male. And not the male that I would prefer, but male and strength, where I'm not saying it's weak. So, what he did in the declining male energy, because that's what happens when the moon sets, same as when the sun sets, is say that he is going for the other male side. So, the greed, the wealth hoarding, the reason why we have to get married in general and not know by our hearts that we're in love. We've become property. It was about property. So, this event and the buckskin, and if you get a chance to look at the pictures, where he has a guy in a French hat, actually one of the ancient French hats, and a lot of these people were married into tribes here. That happened a lot. And they have a Canadian flag, which actually was very close to the old Mohawk flag. Believe it or not, because maple is a very powerful plant, very powerful syrup. Obviously, who does not like maple syrup? If you look at these people, you will see, yes, they all look very well kept, but they are of the tribes of this land. And they're in his canoe, and he's holding a blue canoe. Not the canoe, but the paddle. He's holding a blue paddle. Some of the people have black. A couple of the people have red and white. It's birch. It's an anomaly. It's a bunch of things. Some of them have white canoes. Paddles. Sorry. But look at the shape of them. Look at the marks that are natural from wood all over this world. Tell me, is he not declaring himself? And I realize you have a situation in the States. You're about to elect the Antichrist of the old books. And yes, I mean Trump. I'm calling it. That's what he is. Read what they declare him as in every old book. That's him. They even get his hair right. So,
Yeah.
this guy just rode in a canoe on Ottawa. Ottawa is a very ancient word. It's a word used in every culture on this planet. This goes to the mother. This goes to currency, the sacred exchange. So fluids.
Right.
This is, you are riding on top of the mother. He had a woman baptize him. This ritual with the smoke is still baptism. This is plasma. This is smoke. This is the ancient beings that they call and speak about from the Middle East. This is the jinn. He was baptized in the jinn. He's riding on the water with a group of people from all over the world who are having paddles representing the people of the earth, and the Canadian flag of the Mohawk, who actually still needs to apologize to the Algonquins. But I swear we will find out later today that this ship is Algonquin made. The peoples of the waters, they're like cosmic Vikings. They're like the Vikings actually are. They're both. Twodog?
Yes. The fact of the matter is, it sounds to me, Tracey, I got to agree with you that Mr. Trudeau may be actually doing exactly what you're saying as far as being the chief of the whole Turtle Island. That sounds like a very big possibility to me. The fact of the matter is, here's the big fact of the matter. If he does this, how will other chiefs of other nations around Turtle Island take it?
I'm wondering.
Will we bow down to him, or will we stand to him?
You know, I've been watching
and you know
this.
Me.
I know you. But I've been watching this show because David said, watch this show, called The Red Road.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Netflix right now. Second season. They have this guy who looks like West. Well, it is West Studi. He looks like Twodog. You look like him, Twodog.
Yeah, I have a picture with me and him both together at one of the shows that we did, and even he took the second glance at me when I walked up to him. But
yeah, when they find out he's Mohawk, I'll have a talk with him, because I know he doesn't know, and no one will say he is, but I know what I'm seeing. Anyway, in this TV show, and we've talked about TV shows before because they want you to put something in your head. West Studi plays a character where he is a bad guy. Greed.
Right.
Selling out. He is the bad side of the male energy that is also hitting us right now. That is very close to ruling this earth in a very friggin' serious way. And it will kill us.
If you ever watch anything that Wes really has done, as far as any movie that goes way back to the Last of the Mohicans, he has always played a pretty tough guy. pretty
He's
bad dude.
tough, strong.
Yeah, tough, strong, aggressive.
Aggressive. They like to show him as the scary Indian male.
Even with Dances with Wolves, when he played the how do I call it, the badass Pawnee.
Yeah, and he was badass. Must admit.
He always played very aggressive indigenous people.
He always has.
In many movies. So yeah, I see sometimes, even when in my younger day, doing everything that has been going on with me, when it comes to the Indian people, I didn't want to lead nothing. I just wanted to fight because of what's been going on Turtle Island. When people get killed for no reason.
You have always been both sides, and of the positive energy. Believe it or not, just because it's positive does not mean swishy.
Yes.
It means strong.
Exactly.
One of my cousins, who is like the typical gay man, like the bad drawings of them, the bad characters of them, where they're so girly they can't even stand it. I've been with him where someone said something about me. You want to see? Protected me? Oh! Protected me to the point where 30 years later they're probably having nightmares about getting beat up by a gay man. Dressed fabulously at the time with a scarf and everything, and nail polish and makeup, which I actually did.
Well, let me add to that, to be honest with you, because I've run into everybody you can think of.
Yes, you have.
In my life.
Yes, you have.
And here's the thing about some very, very flaming gay men, okay? They use the feminine side of themselves constantly. That's number one. They always do. But if you want a butt kicking that you have never got in your life, push one. Try. Because something will switch.
These people, some of them, if they've had to defend themselves, does not mean you're soft, if you know what I mean.
No.
Does not. It does not mean this was not someone who I thought would protect me if I needed it. Oh my God. Yeah. Protect me. He said, you know what people forget about gay men? I'm like, please tell me, enlighten me. He goes, well, we don't go to church so much because we're not welcome, but we do go to the gym, which he said is the gay church. I'm sorry, that's what he said. And he goes, so you really think that one guy with a whole bunch of rounds of bullets walked into this place and felt no resistance? Please.
Seriously.
We're going to take a little break. We're going to be right back. Everyone, thanks for listening, and love you. Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Trace Elements Radio, and we are live today with Chief Charles Twodog, the Peacemaker.
Thank you very much for having me, also, Trace. But can me and you go just a little bit further?
Yeah, please do. I wanted to as well.
This gay situation that with
let's talk
going on in America.
Talk at that, because I wanted to too.
I wanted to relay something of traditional value that has always been with us for, I don't know, 130,000 years, if not longer. In a lot of our nations, well, you have the two-spirit of the Dene in a lot of ways. And to be honest, if you were a woman or a man and you were gay in many ways, then you knew the best of both worlds, male and female, and was quite respected in tribal thinking. Matter of fact, it was told that woman's dress, as far as the nephew of Red Cloud, was actually a gay man. But what we always held up to was, if you were, then you knew the male side of everything and you knew the female side of everything. So you knew the best of both worlds. Trace, what do you think?
Exactly, and I wanted to bring that up. It's okay. We've talked about this on my show, where most tribes had many words for these peoples, and at least counted 6 different sexual orientations. 6. It had nothing to do with liking animals. Surprisingly, no native language has that. We were talking about men who like to dress as women and be with other women, men who like to dress as women and be with men, women going both ways, women who are warriors, women who are builders. It didn't need...
Woman, can I add to just for a second?
Please.
To the women warriors, to be honest.
Yes.
In some nations, that if you were a woman and were a warrior, when you married, you had the right to either marry a male or a female.
You had the right to have even more than one mate.
Right.
Which we usually didn't allow multiple marriages. That was new. We did in most clans. If you were a man who preferred men, you were allowed to have more than one mate. If you were a woman who preferred women, you too had more than one mate. One of the biggest loves of my life. And this is a man I almost married, so I've never talked about this in front of people, but gay man, completely gay man, but we loved each other. He did ask me to marry him, and I was really close to saying yes. And if I hadn't made that choice, would have been happy. It's more of Haitian rules, that we actually would have been a powerful couple. We could do things together. We could make things happen. And he would have been a great father, too. Very good. Very strong man. And I had no problem with that. And surprisingly enough, in this day and age, neither did my family. So we live in an age which is very negative male, that puts stakes into all of our hearts and says that they know what love is. You cannot regulate love.
No.
And why should we? If we didn't do that, things would be cool. If our worst problem on this planet was a man wanting to be with a man, holy crap, that's not even a problem.
I can put it like this, Trey. This is just the way I am. Always have been me. I have to take care of my family. I have to take care of my nation. I have to do this, okay? If you want me to worry about who's laying with who, that's their business. It has nothing to do with me. I am not the creator, and I am not the judge. Who wants to lay with who is what they do. If they're two grown and consenting adults and they love each other,
yes.
Who am I to say no? I am not. I'm not the master of life in itself. And if these people say, well, God hates gay people, then why did he make them that way? God don't hate no one. My God don't.
No, it's not possible. It's
not about that.
If people are listening and they believe in a being created this, with all this diversity, that is not a being who cares about such things.
Right.
Our global environment, our social crisis, it's pretty much epic proportions, old school epic.
Mm-hmm.
So we need epic solutions, which are actually really, really simple.
Now,
okay, go on.
If you allow me just for one second.
Please.
Now, Tracey knows me better than anyone in the world, as far as man in himself. But to be honest, women tell me, they sit with me constantly and tell me things that I really don't want to know.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yep.
Because actually, I use the feminine side of myself to always understand a woman. Because a man has to use his heart. Men do have one. This men-dominated society.
And they're way more powerful if they use it instead of their fists.
I do it 24/7. That's why women speak to me all the time over things. They do. They come to me all the time. We help each other, the male and the female, both sacred sides. We have to work together for the benefit of the whole system. Like, you and me do, Trey. When we talk with each other. It's the
power couple.
Female and the male working together.
Yep.
Same deal.
And, we stand shoulder to shoulder. I'm not the boss of Twodog. He's not the boss of me.
Right.
Where we are is a place where there's no bosses. You just work together. And when someone needs your strength, you feel it. And you're there for them. This is the way of our people. Our people. This is the time of the masculine moon. We're not done. We need another 2 days. But the moon, I've told you the old stories. The oldest stories, the moon is not female. Because let's see what the moon does. It affects women more than anything else. Men affect women more than anything else. Come on. Man and moon. The moon rang out like a bell last night. I slept under it, felt it, but I thought, I'm just having an episode. Then I found the space tsunami, which I posted, which I told you was coming, called Grandmaster, the Burmista. It is the lightning, the Vedic lightning, which is plasma. This is the story of the phoenix bird, which we had here. This is Quetzalcoatl.
Right.
This is the story of the Peacemaster, because that always comes with these waves of energy. They are always drawn in the same way. And look, someone called the cops. All over the world, everywhere, we know what this means. I saw this picture. It was so funny, guys, because I'm reading a scientific review of a picture that I just looked at and actually felt a physical shock. It's this image they posted of a snake shedding. So it's in a spiral. And they put, the snake is confused and trying to struggle. No, this symbol of a snake eating its own tail is ancient. It's ancient as long as we could draw in walls, and before that, when we were other kinds of things.
Right.
When a snake sheds, it circles and travels through its own tunnel. It's never been biting its own tail. This is just the way of things. So when scientists put out things like, it's so weird what the pygmies do, what men with compassion, I just think I'm really sorry that there are so few men who have experienced that. But I realize the new men being born, whether they experience it or not, that's the kind of men they will be. And I don't care how many signs and symbols. And, June so far, every day has been a tale of the apocalypse. End of days. Death for humanity. And all our brethren. And the continents separating even more. I want to tell you, there was a time when we were not divided, where these continents were together. It is not just metaphysical. I'm saying an actual alignment. And this planet would not be tilted if it were not for us.
Right. We, to be honest, between all of nature and itself, man is the only one that is forgotten, and they're the only ones that are truly fighting in nature and itself. And we're causing the problem. And that's one of the reasons that I'm trying to let people know around the world that we are all related here. And if you want to survive as a human being, we better start taking care of each other, and especially our mother, because she will survive, but we may not if we continue this way. But Tracey, here's the kick that I tell people all the time. I get men mad at me all the time because I always bow to every life giver, because without the woman there'd be no nations on this planet, number one. Now, with this male-dominated society, they don't understand me. I'm very dangerous to a lot of men for some reason. But here's the point. The thing that I see is both are going to have to work together around the world. And hey, I'm a father right now. I have raised my child from birth. I've always hugged her, always was there for her, always will be. But if you look at my past, Tracy, if you look at everything in my past, which you do, I should not be this way, because I was always in a plight. I ought to, ought to not be this way, because society has beat on me constantly.
No, you should be a tough guy.
You see what you see what I am. I ought to not. My mind frame should not be where I'm setting with everything that has happened. But I choose love over anything. Love, honor, respect to everything.
You choose love, honor, and respect, and people unsolicited are sending their flags. And know what that means, people? Yes. That means you are choosing something different. And, we are told that if we are not elected officials, we don't matter. Yes, we do. One person in a country saying, I refuse. I did something really funny to Doug. I have a cousin who is he wants to be a lawyer, so he was in a debate class. It was about guns. And I say, okay, say this. Some men rape. I think the only thing we can do, because some men rape, not in one country, but in every country, that we need to remove the penis. Although we cannot remove the penis because it means ending life on this planet. So I will regulate the penis. I will regulate who decides who procreates for it, who uses it for pleasure. I will decide every being on the planet who is born with a penis will be mandated from now on that only certain beings will be allowed the power of the penis. And actually my argument went on the side of not gun control, which I'm actually against. But this is the epic battle, really.
Mm-hmm.
If I removed every penis because some men in every country rape, I am ending humanity. I am officially saying no one can have this choice. And the thing we know, protecting ourselves, we must. So we're going to put a group of individuals in charge of who gets the penis, who gets it for pleasure, who gets it for pain, who can wear it, how big it will be, or not. It's like the battle for guns. Not every person on the planet will kill a human for it. Not every person on the planet will use it for something other than protection or food. What I mean in my heart is that if we have human beings together and encourage our humanity, this will no longer be a question.
I see exactly. The thing about many things is this male-dominated.
And it's very, only the negative males get to be in charge.
Well, that's true. I mean, good God, look what's fixing to happen. It's either Miss Clinton or Mr. Trump right now.
Look at people saying Trump is the answer. And look into his past. Look into his words.
If Trump is the answer, I would not be getting these phone calls going, hey, you ever seen the Civil War you're fixing to?
Yeah, that's what will happen. There is no need for a great white hope. Because no matter how pale you are, you people aren't white.
If you listen to any speech he's actually saying as far as let's make America great again, what is he saying? He's going against the Mexican people. He's going against the Muslim, which I've met with Muslim people. Their faith is incredible.
They're strong. This is why the moon during their 33 days of Ramadan is a friggin' big deal.
Yes. Now here's the thing. They actually said, and this is coming from the American government itself, not me. We are a nation of immigrants. And what is America but to be honest, yes, America is a nation of immigrants. This was not their country when they got here. And every step you take is on Indian land. I don't care from Mexico, United States, and Canada. It still is. Okay, yes. I don't care. The fact of the matter is even the leaders of America is saying this is a nation of immigrants. And what did Donald Trump actually say? My grandfather didn't immigrate to America to have a bunch of immigrants come over. And I'm like, what the hell? That
his grandfather, the Nazi slumlord.
Well, that's what Trump, I think, is his real name.
It's Trump. I have links.
There you go. The only thing I'm saying, I'm not putting down any of the white people, the black people, the red people, the yellow, okay, or the brown. Here's the point. You have always been here now, so it's time to start learning to live together and stop. Put the male macho stuff down, and the problem is the problem.
The planet knows where you live.
Yes, they do. Yes, she does.
And has accepted you being here, or you'd be dead. So, that's all we need, really. But when you kill your brother, it is not good.
Let's put it to you this way. I had and matter of fact, I told you about this, Tracey, off air, of course. I had one individual got out of a car, and because the car turns off the lights of the car automatically, and the other guy didn't turn them off like he asked him to. He said, well, the car just turns it off automatically. He turned and shot him because the car did it, not him. Does that sound like we're really all together here? United what? It don't sound it. Just saying, Trey.
People who love where they are do not risk their lives to get out of there. You know, our European brothers and sisters our African brothers and sisters, our island brothers and sisters. We have all fought against the same thing.
Mm-hmm. I hope. Yes, we have.
All the confusion with the gods and goddesses. There's a universal mother that gave birth to many things, including the gods and goddesses. She never demanded worship.
Right. She didn't have to.
No. She just was.
But let me add to just a little bit, Trace, and I'll let
Please.
you have it one more time. Here's the thing that I'm saying about the male-dominated society. Years ago here in America, if you marry male and a female, if you marry, here's what was stated. The man has to love, honor, and cherish the female. And when it came to the female, she was to love, honor, and obey. Really. Of course, that's been taken out in a lot of ways. But when was the sacred female, which without her would be no nation on this mother right now, would have to obey? No, I live in a matriarchal society, Tracey. I got to go to my clan mothers if anything goes down. So the sacred fifth amendment, you know that, matriarchal society. It's hard for me to understand why two consenting adults one has to obey the other like some kind of god, when actuality we're just the same as nature in itself in a lot of ways. What do you think, Trey?
I think that when we decided to split, it was just to show each other different aspects of ourselves. Men can't rule this planet because they can't give birth. Women can't rule this planet because they can't do it without a male. There's very few. There are some still alive that can. Certain species, like certain mushrooms, certain reptilians, certain mammals still in the water. But when we decided to crawl out, we made a choice. So the entire thing about the Bible, where they say Eve came from Adam's rib, shows the agenda here. Shows that there is a group of beings, probably the same ones who decided to stab Jesus in his side, just like Adam's rib, trying to give Adam a vagina. Adam will never have a vagina. And when he does, it makes him crazy.
Yeah.
You know, putting people like Bruce Jenner as Women of a Year because he got his stuff cut off. Actually, if you really read the stuff that didn't make it into the Bible, that is just as legitimate as everything else supposed to be in there, like the Book of James, they will tell you it was all about emasculating men and making women become men. This is a sick group of individuals. And I don't care how many kinds of Christianity, Buddhism, or followers of Muhammad or followers of the Great Pumpkin
Right.
in this physical plane, separation is killing us.
Yes, it is.
We can't survive it. We can't.
In this modern world, it's now gotten, in this technology world, it's now gotten for a mother or a father can't even raise their children because they're too busy. They gotta make the green paper for survival of the family when they really don't raise kids. They can't. They're too busy. Both parents gotta work. They can't do it. They're tearing down the family system. What do you think, Trey? In many ways? I mean, that's what I see. What do you think of that, Tracey? You there? You there, Trace?
Sorry, guys. Trying to get Twodog back in. Hopefully this will work. Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, I got you now. I don't know what happened.
I don't know either.
I apologize, guys.
I didn't feel well, and I asked Twodog to take over, and at that moment, immediately he was freaking cut off. Cut me some slack, goddammit.
Well, sometimes, what I think seriously is sometimes what I say people don't think. So I get...
What did you just say? I left you for 5 minutes.
Well, the only thing that I said, okay, is why would anybody in this thing, as far as marriage in itself, since we both work together, male and female, okay, why could one say love, honor, and cherish, and the other one has to obey?
Oh, I heard that part.
There's no woman, no one, male or female, especially the woman, let's put it that way. Why does the woman have to love, honor, and obey the male?
Well,
don't we work together for the benefit of the family? But if you look at what's going on with this modern technology,
it's the same idea that one guy is going to have 3 wives and the wives are going to be happy. No, they are fooling around on you, bro. I don't care what planet you're from. Those women, if they're quiet, it's because they're taking their money and they have lovers. You don't know. There is no man who could keep up with a woman unless she is so madly in love that she has decided this. And I know this goes against everything, and it sounds horrible, but it's true, guys.
It is true.
Women are hypersexual. The fact that most of us aren't now is how terribly damaged we've been. We're afraid of ourselves. It's not that we've lost sexuality. We're terrified because They've told us these Lucifer myths and these Satan myths, which I'm going to continue on the story. It's all about the water and the sacred feminine, and why these controllers who wanted to cross-dress, which is fine, but wanted to cross-dress and hate women and rape our kids, are never going to be anything that held the divine right of kings. Twodog is showing what the divine right of kings are. He's called Chief, but he was given this right from a woman, an elder,
Yes.
saying, please handle the situation. What would you ask a man other than that? Handle this friggin' thing.
Gave me this. The woman is what gave me this position, to be honest.
That is the divine right of kings. This is the crown that is in your head. Physically, it's a structure in your brain. That is the divine right. Men have it, women have it. The whole idea of one of us being subservient is ridiculous. Look at the animal kingdom. Neutered males are actually way better mothers.
That's true.
Males, in most mammalian species, so closest related to us, will give milk if the mom dies. This is what our species does. We are one being. Males have XY. Women have XS. Males are us. Guys, girls, we are the same. They are a little different. That little difference is their power and their strength. It has nothing to do with domination.
Right.
Because I have been the most dominant negative female you could even imagine. You can't imagine. You can't. Probably the majority of you. Red Queen? Yeah, I'm both. I am the abyss, the darkness, the abyss, the Virgin Queen. I am the mother and the whore. I am all the things they try to scare you about in the Bible, the Koran, even in all the other relations and books. It's a book. It would have been much better if you walked to a tree and got its knowledge, because it could actually teach you something. If it's on paper, it's a spell. And it's horrific. 500 years ago, 3 days ago, the Roman Church gave Christians the right to enslave people on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
The horrificness of this planet is not as old as we've been told. It isn't. It's new. They want to act like they've won. They can't win. So at this point, they're trying to just kill us.
Now, Tracey, I'm going to be honest with you. With all, and everyone that's listening, with all these flags from around the world that is coming to me right now, like I told Tony over the, off the air here, is that if I actually get a Vatican flag from them, then maybe whatever I'm saying may actually be hit. So what I'm saying is, if the Vatican actually sends one, maybe everybody's listening, and I don't know. What do you think, Trey?
I'm trying to phrase it in a way that if the Vatican sends a flag, then of course, as you say, they have a chance. I would ask, they admit it's voodoo. And I will not only say fly their flag, I will embroider it. And I mean that. We've got one of the black robes who helped defile this planet 500 years ago on the throne right now. This being who prays to the Dark Father. Their words, not mine.
Right.
I'm going to say the Dark Father is the abyss. This is the abyss. Right. This is the waters. This is the womb. This is why Christ had to have a Mary and be birthed by one. This is why there's martial law. This is why there's Merovingian kings. This is the Dark Father you worship is a girl. This is your Lucifer. This is Venus. This is a morning star. This is... Admit that. And I will support your re-entry.
It's like, how do I put it?
And I have a cousin who is a bishop. I do. Full Catholic bishop.
If you have God and Satan both at your side, Satan, from darkness will come light. Did you talk about it?
Yeah. Their stories say, from the darkness. It came from the darkness. First there was the darkness. This is the water. This is the egg. This is why every culture has. We came from an egg. Because every culture wasn't stupid. We knew we came from an egg. This is the ovum.
Mm-hmm.
This is the sperm. This is the cross symbol. This is the galactic center. What we see above us is what is right here in our bodies. We are no different. And he actually is coming out with some stuff that has shocked me. Not the fake stuff the Vatican supposedly said, but the real stuff the Pope has said. Well, if he continues saying it and means it, he'll be killed. And he actually said he would probably die within 2016. That's his prophecy about himself.
And let me just explain to the listeners also, when I got that phone call and stated that I got elected to this by the women, by the way, I told her that I'll get back to her in just a few minutes. And if you remember, Tracy,
you called me.
I called you, and I told you what they want me to do. And to be honest, I might not have done it if it wasn't for you. You're the one that said, take it. And I did. So this is exactly, I wanted to hear from you before I made that step. There wasn't no disrespect disrespect to the women of my nation or nothing, but I trust you so much that I wanted my sister to hear this. And you said, take it. I did.
We've worked together against odds. Like, I mean, Native people have tried to pull Twodog and I apart.
Many times.
Saying horrific things about me. Actually, once they said, you know, Tracey's a Jew. And I'm like, of all things to pull out of your hat, that's where you're going to go. Tracey's a Jew. Actually, my grandfather, the man that my grandma married, was Jewish. He found out when he went to his dad's funeral, because it was that racist in Canada where you couldn't tell your kids they were Jewish, but his name was Joseph Morris. I brought that up at the time. I said, so you were thinking Joseph Morris came from where, really? Grandpa? He swatted me on my ass, and I respect that. You were thinking that was what kind of name? But yeah, they were saying I'm like a Zionist overlord. If I was a Zionist overlord, this shit would have been over long. I'd be making Alex Jones money.
If you think about it too, Tracey, I'm also Haudenosaunee, and you know, I am a person of the Longhouse too.
Person of the Longhouse, one of the people of Flint, so he can carve the sacred stone. And let me tell you, when I saw Twodog for the first time, his picture, I said, "You're Mohawk." He said, "No, I'm not." And I'm like, "And yet, yes, you are."
Yes, and I met my Mohawk family, by the way. Definitely did.
You know, there are connections on this planet that are not defined by their rules, and we know it. This time of the sacred moon, this 33 days that happens to fit on Ramadan, is powerful. Take your power back, each and every one of you. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being on with me, Twodog.
My honor, honey.
Thanks, guys.
Love, honor, respect.
Thanks for listening. Bye for now.